Hi there, Jess Nelson here. Today you don't even need a mat. We're going to have a little bit of a different class. I've had a client in the past ask me about doing a class that doesn't require you to get up and down from the mat, a standing or seated only class. So that's what we're going to do today. So all you need is a sturdy chair that doesn't have wheels on it because you don't want it moving around, and just yourself. No mat needed. But don't be fooled. Don't think this is going to be easy just because we're doing something a little different. It's still going to be challenging. So join us, have fun, and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, as we always do, is find our alignment. So our feet are going to be under our ankles, knees over the ankles, hips balanced over that line. From the sideline, you can see the ribs stacked over the hips, shoulders back and down, earlobe right at the tip of that shoulder. Let's take a couple breaths here and just get ourselves connected and kind of push everything outside away for now so we can enjoy this time together. So we're going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more big inhale, inhale up and exhale down. All right, so we got our mind in the right place, our body's set up for success. We're just going to get right to moving. So it's a little bit of a prance, keeping the toes down and popping those heels up, not letting the ankles roll in or out, but just nice, floating the heels up one at a time, letting the arms just naturally swing by your side. Maybe you start to feel a little bit of engagement throughout the body. We're not being sloppy, but we're certainly not doing anything strenuous yet. And then we're going to take that little bit of a prance into a march. So now the foot does come up off the floor. The arms might swing a little bit more, kind of keeping our hips level, not hiking them up with the march, but just a nice little march here. And in a few counts, we'll take this up to a chair step or a high step march. Again, the goal here is just to get the blood flowing, get the body warm. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring that knee up to a chair step. Maybe the arms get a little bit more movement to them. Maybe, just maybe, you're ready to take those arms up overhead and let them come down and chop when the knee comes up. Again, not doing anything too strenuous, just warming it up. Couple more here. And 3, and 2, and 1. Settling that back in, let's take the feet a little bit wider, and we're just going to take this into a side toe tap. Maybe the arms start to swing as a counterbalance. Whatever feels natural. Maybe it's time to do that fun dance the kids do, right? The kids all make fun of me. No, we're not going to do that. The moms or the kids always tell me how embarrassing I am, so maybe you guys get that too. I don't know. All right, so let's make this a little bit more energetic. If you want, we can get that toe tap going. Reach the arm overhead. We're just gonna elevate that heart rate a little bit. Anytime you take those hands up overhead, gets the heart working a little bit more. And then we're gonna take it across the body, and that looks like this. There's a twist in the torso for this one. And then we're going to take it down to the ground. It can look just like this if this is all you are ready to do this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in your day. Or if you want to be a little bit bigger with this action, you can come down and tap the ground and hop. Turn it into a skater. Whatever you need to get yourself warmed up and ready to work. One more on each side. And then bring that back up to just the gentle toe tap with the arms swaying until we kind of slow it down all together. We're going to find a nice stable position, finding that good posture. Big breath in, arms up overhead, hollowing out that stomach, letting the head like a sinker come down toward the ground. And feel that stretch all along the back side of the body. Maybe you only come down to your shins. Maybe you're only up here to your knees. Wherever you are, honor that and sink into it with each breath. All right, we're going to rise on up. So push the belly button to the spine to restack those bones one at a time as we come up slowly. And let's do that one more time. Come on up. Now that we got the motion, getting on down there to our roll down. Let the head hang heavy and walking the hands to the left side of your body, twisting at the torso. You can even kind of grab onto the calf here and get that nice extra stretch all along that side of the body. Keeping the hips facing forward and back through center, twisting in the opposite direction. Again, even if you want to grab that calf a little bit to get a little bit extra, go ahead. Back through center, and then let's just enjoy this for one moment. Couple deep breaths here. And then restacking the spine, coming back up. Then we're going to take it wide. And we're going to come back down again and just do a wide-legged fold. So we're going to stretch those inner thighs a little bit. So coming on down, if you can reach the floor, or if you can't, we're still gonna, wherever you are, we're gonna twist at the torso and open up one arm up to the sky. And bring that back down, holding it as long as you feel good. Just about stretching and getting all the muscles ready to work. And back. And then coming up to where the arms are on the knees. We're just going to dip the shoulder and dip the shoulder. So we're just twisting and stretching. Feeling all the bones start to crack and pop. There we go. And coming on up gently. We're going to do one more little thing to get ourselves started because we're going to do some chair sits later appropriately since we have a chair. We're just going to go ahead and come on down, making sure we can see those big toes just past our knees and coming back up. Kind of turn this way so you can see. It's a nice flat back. We hinge at the hips as we come down, sending the tush back and then back up and back and up. And when you do this, it's going to help if you push into your heels and you're going to feel the activation in your legs, but also start to engage around your abdomen because you're going to feel that upward motion is going to help you come up to standing. It's almost like you're elongating your spine, pushing up from the bottom. Two more here. And last one. And there we are. All right. Hopefully you're feeling pretty warm. We're going to go ahead and take our chair and we're going to have a seat. So, if you've taken a Pilates class before, you've most definitely, or even if you've taken any kind of core-focused fitness class, you've heard your instructor talk about the C curve or the scoop or hollowing out your stomach. I just said that a few moments ago, right? So we want to really take a look at what's going on and how to really activate that in a way that's going to keep us safe in some of these motions and actually give us a lot of power too. So we're going to sit on the edge of our chair, sitting up nice and tall. We can feel both those bony points in our bottom, make connection to the chair, and the shoulders are relaxed down the back. From here, let's go ahead and put our arms out. Our feet are firmly planted, and we're just going to practice what it takes to get that scoop activated. So I want you to think, squeeze your pelvic floor. So those are all the muscles that you would squeeze off to cut the flow of urine. So that's going to get you, almost kind of lifts you up on the seat a little bit, right? So don't squeeze them that hard. So just enough to engage them. Then I want you to take in all of that muscle and great waistline. So it's like a big belt around you and you kind of just take it and bring it in. So you're not bringing it in so where you can't breathe, you're just cinching it in so that you feel confident. Okay, so now we've got the pelvic floor, we've got the waistline activated, and now what we're going to try to do is tilt our hips so that we're trying to take this pubic bone, the lowest bony point between our legs here, like we want to bring that up to our sternum. So doing that, we kind of scoop into the belly, right? So you can see this nice little scoop happens, and we arch backwards. So our lumbar spine usually goes this way, and we're trying to push it the opposite direction in this scoop, right? And then we're going to keep the scoop to come on back up to seated. So we're going to work through that a couple times. We don't have to go back far because there's the back of the chair that's going to stop us, right? But you're going to feel that activation right away, and you're going to know you're working because it's nice and firm right through here, and you almost get like a little bit of a shake when you get into this. If you need to, like, Mike's chair is really creaky. It's really old. Whew. Come on back. Keeping the scoop. See, I'm keeping that scoop and bringing it back up and then straightening it out when I get to the top. One more here. And then we're going to add rotation. So now we've got that scoop. We're tipping our hips like we're trying to bring that pubic bone up to the sternum. And then we just turn at the waist, open the arm, gaze follows that arm. So you should feel some beautiful power going right across diagonally, right? Bringing it back through center, keeping the scoop, bringing the other arm behind, gaze follows, turning at the waist, at the torso, bony hip points stay pointing forward, and back through center, up to seated. Let's do 3 more of those. Scoop, twist, center, still in the scoop, opposite direction twist, back through center. Now I want you to scoop like you've never scooped before and hold that to pull you back up to seated. We've got a couple more. Hopefully you're feeling the work start to happen. We don't need to be on a mat to really feel the power in our bodies. We can do this anywhere. And so we want to make it accessible to as many people as possible so they don't feel like they're left out just because they can't get up and down off the floor. We can all train our bodies to work efficiently and effectively so that we can walk through life with power, grace, confidence. One more here. Take the pressure off our joints when we have nice long lean muscles. Just is all around good for us. Last one coming up. All right, so we've got that scoop in a way that we know what we're doing. We're activating some really deep muscles. We're activating things around our waist, pelvic floor. So there's a lot of action happening all in this powerhouse core area, right? So now we're going to challenge that by lifting our legs. So we were kind of really stable in that. Our legs were the anchor. So now we're going to come into that scoop. We're going to lean back. We're going to lift one leg, and then we're going to pump that leg. So you might need to shift yourself off to the corner of your chair a little bit more, but I want you to hold that scoop, keep everything quiet. You can even put your hands right here to make sure that you're not moving anything else as you bring that leg up and down. 2 more. And then bring that back to bent, and then back up to seated. Then we got to do the other leg. Scooping it back, we're going to straighten the leg and pump that leg. Reaching that toe away. Feeling all this activation, keeping our core completely stable while the only thing that's moving is this leg pumping up and down. 2 more. All right, I'm going to have to twist a little bit because now we're going to open and close the legs, and I don't want to hit this dresser. So I'm going to turn this way towards you so you can see. So we're going to do that same motion, scooping back into our chair, taking that leg out, and now keeping all of this stable and steady, we're opening it out to the side and closing it back up. So it's just a door on a hinge. The hinge is the joint on this leg. And we're halfway there. We're doing 8 on each side. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that one down, using that scoop to bring us back up to seated, and taking it back. Opposite leg comes out and up, and we open and close. Open. If you start to find yourself kind of hunching in, open those shoulders back up. Be proud. You're not ashamed of the work that you're doing. Just because you're sitting down doesn't mean you're not working. We're halfway there. And 3, and 2, and 1. There it is. All right, so I'm going to turn back the other way. We got one more thing here, and then we're going to go ahead and get up and do some more standing work. So if you've worked with me before in Pilates, you know the series of 5 has these cool different moves. We're going to do one of those in a seated position. So this is the double leg stretch. So let's see if we can make it work. You gotta have enough room. Make sure you're in a position on your chair that you're not gonna fall off, so you're not so far forward that you're going to scoot yourself off the chair, but you're not so far back that you're gonna hit the back of your chair. So find that nice little balance point. You're gonna bring the legs in. You're gonna, man, this chair is really creaky. Bring the knees up to the chest and extend, arms come out and around. So we're doing the same thing. It's actually harder this way than it is on the mat because you're really trying to make sure you don't fall off the chair. Engaging that core. If you want to take the arms away, if that's too much, you put the arms on your chair and you're in and out. In and out. I'll tell you what, this is a lot more challenging because you're using your upper body to brace yourself and you're using that deep abdomen psoas muscles to pull those legs in and out. That is enough. Whew. So that was just an experiment to see if we could do that in the chair. We figured out how to do it. We modified, made it work. So come on up. We can take that chair out of the way for right now. And we're going to move into, actually, this is kind of a cool thing. So we'll use that chair to help us. So we're going to do some heel raises. So we can use the back of the chair, kind of like if we're at the bar doing a bar class. So we're in this nice, beautiful posture, and we're going to just practice coming up onto our toes like we did. I don't know if we did this yet, did we? I'm already forgetting what we've done. That's horrible. 9 weeks of quarantine will do that to you, I suppose. Finding those heels and up. All right, what if, once we find our rhythm, we come up, that arm comes up, and we come down. Up and down. Up. We're going to just use one so far. Get this rhythm. You can keep the arm up or you can bring it down when you come down. Whatever makes you feel beautiful. And we're going to add on to it. So now, if we're using the right arm to come up and we're on those heels, what if we take that left leg and reach it out long and we bring our arm and leg in opposite forces, like we're being ripped apart from opposite diagonal there, and bring it down. And up and down. I know you're working, because I am, and I'm sweaty already. Keep at it. 3 more. 2 and 3. So that's like our swimming on the mat, right? So when we're face down, we kind of pull one arm and the opposite leg up, and we're getting a lot of activation, but we're actually getting more work on that standing leg. So bonus. See, I told you it wasn't going to be easy just because we're not getting down on the mat. Finding our posture again. Let's get back into those heel raises. Maybe now we're getting ready. We can take that opposite arm up. So if we were working on that right arm before, we're taking that left arm up, or we just leave it there. Reaching each time we come up. And when we're ready, we're going to take that right leg out behind us. Feeling the reach all along that diagonal pair in our back. Kind of getting a little bit of extension in that. Bring the arm down if you like. We got 3 more. 3. Core's engaged, right? 2. And 1. Whew, let's go ahead and stretch out those calves. So we're going to just kind of lean into the chair, pulling into that chair, getting a nice stretch on the back. Enjoying that stretch. What else do I have in store for us? All right, so we're going to flow right into some leg work here. All right, so we're going to flow right into some leg work here. Using the back of the chair, I'm going to turn it this way, I think. Right in here. There we go. That looks good. So we're going to get ourselves set up where we're just far enough away so that way we can kind of lean into it. We want a nice engaged core, and we want to make sure that we're not locking out the standing leg. So you can lean in just a little bit on your chair. We're not gripping it, just a little lean. We're going to take this foot back, point that toe, nice long back, not arching, not hunching, straight flat, and we're lifting and lowering. Lift and lower, lift. All the work's happening as the glute squeezes to lift that leg. The hamstring's working too with that, but there's a lot of activity going on in that glute. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it up, we're going to bend the knee and we're going to push it up. Same motion, but with a bent knee. We're doing 8 of these as well. Standing leg might start to talk to you a little bit. Don't break form. Keep everything engaged. And 2 and 1. Now, keeping that knee bent, let's go ahead and open it out to the side and close. Try not to hike that hip, so we don't want to see you kind of tilt into it. It's not a pivot on the standing leg. The standing leg stays firm, the hips stay level, and the leg just opens out to the side. And 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that down. Go ahead, and I'm going to stretch the standing leg because that's what's talking to me more. So cross that leg over, but you can do both if you like at this point. We just want to stretch it out before we move on to doing the other side. So number 4 stretch here, foot crosses over, and we just kind of dip into it, feeling that opening and stretching all along the hip joint. All right, we're going to set ourselves up for the other side. So now again, we're not locking out that knee. Nice power, a little bit of a lean forward, nice flat back, stretching that toe behind you nice and long, and we lift and lower, keeping the core engaged so we don't arch the back. It's a small lift because there's not a lot of range of motion back there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going back into that fire hydrant or that lifting on the side. Remembering we're not pivoting over, we're not tipping. Hips stay level. We can almost kind of line them up with this chair. So we have those bony hip points right here. We're lining them up with our chair so that we don't go over to the side. We're keeping it nice and level. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, number 4 stretch. One more set here after we get this stretched out. All right, so now we're going to do a couple more chair sets. So we did them before without a prop for us, but we're going to work them a little bit harder. So this is here to help us stay steady. So finding those feet in a nice position, might be coming a little bit closer to your chair. Again, we're not gripping it. We're going to come back to sit, making sure we can see those toes just beyond our knees. We're not coming in here like this. Rather, our tushy goes back, and then we push up. Flat back, we hinge at the hips, and up. We're doing 2 sets of 8 here. I'll count to make sure that we don't overdo it or underdo it. That was 4, 5. Again, engaging through that core as if you're pushing up with those muscles coming from the pelvic floor all the way up through the center of the body. It's going to give you more engagement. All right, we only have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bonus round. Are you ready? All right, we're going to pop up onto the toes. She's gone crazy. Coming up onto the toes. We're not letting the heels pop or the ankles roll out or in. We're only going to do 1 set here. Okay? Nice, long, strong, powerful body. And 1. Your toes are going to come down a little bit over your knees. That's fine. We're coming straight down. And 3. And 4. And 5. 6. 7. And 8. Let's go ahead and stretch those quads. Put the foot back behind you. Keep those knees together and feel that nice long stretch all in the front of your leg. Another deep breath here. And other side. All right, so we've got the fronts and backs of the legs worked. Now we got to do inner outer thigh, right? So that chair can stay there. Again, it's just a nice little place for us to balance. We're going to find that posture where we feel that nice, long, powerful leg. It's like we're lifting the quad, the upper leg, up off of the knee. So that's kind of like everything's pulling up to take the pressure off of that knee. And we've got our core engaged. And again, we want nice level hips. So we're going to let that foot stay flexed on this side, and we're going to open it and close it. Open and close. Open, close. 2 sets of 8 here. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2. It's not about height, it's about keeping all that form great, keeping that reach on that leg, feeling it all through the side here. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. We're going to point the toe now. And we have that nice long line, and we're just going to pulse it up. So put your hand right here on the side, and you're going to feel that muscle activate. So that's the glute medius muscle kind of hiding in there. So pulse, 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 pulse. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. You didn't think I was going to let you drop it yet, did you? Keep that leg engaged to keep you steady. Tiny little circles. Going one direction, slow and small. We remember to breathe, right? And take those circles in the opposite direction. Oh my goodness. It's starting to burn. Means we're building. And there it is. Shake it out a little bit. We got to do the other side. Whatever stretch here you want, you can go back into a number 4 stretch or just kind of let the hips sway side to side. I'm going to go ahead and move my chair to the other side. And we're going to set ourselves up for the other leg. So here we are. Again, we don't want to kind of do this where we get our shoulder in a weird position. Make sure your shoulders are nice, open, level, all that energy pulling that leg up off the knee. And here we are, finding our beautiful even hips, and we lift that leg out and back, out and back. We're doing 2 sets of 8. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We hold it up, we point the toe, we feel that beautiful muscle right here on our side as we pulse it up for 2 sets of 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tiny little circles. Breathing the whole time. This leg's starting to burn a little bit quicker because we already worked it on the other side. Take those circles in the opposite direction. Ooh, we're almost there. All right. Again, if this is a place for you to do a number 4 stretch, or you just kind of do this nice little hip jut that kind of stretches it out. For me, when I try to go right into a number 4 after that, my body's like, you know, not going to happen right now. So I have to kind of ease into it by stretching it out this way first. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go ahead and take that number 4 and really stretch those muscles. We worked a lot of those small, large, medium muscles all around the hip joint, which is good because that's going to help us with our stability in our hips, help us keep that core engaged, which is going to help us protect our backs. It's all positive stuff here, guys. But I'm preaching to the choir. If you're here with me, you know what's up. All right. Let's do one more bit of leg work before we move on to upper body, shall we? So we haven't done anything yet in second position turned out. So the legs are a little bit wider, And you can determine your turnout of your feet by where your knees are. So you don't want to have your knees pointing out and your toes pointing forward. It's going to be awkward. So kind of get to a position, not falling out through the window here today, where you can take your knees down and again, still be able to see those toes when you come down into your wide squat. So what we're going to do with this, it looks like I've got notes here that we're going to do 8, 8, 8, 8. That sounds fun, right? So hands can be up overhead, they can be out forward, they can be on the hips, wherever you want. Obviously, like we talked about, hands overhead is going to get your heart rate up higher. This is just going to work upper body. And right here, if you just need to get through it. So I'm going to start in the center here, and we're going to come down and push up. That's 1. Cores engaged. 2, 3. Energy all in the body. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's our first 8. What's our second 8? I'm glad you asked. Pop the right heel and pulse down for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I bet you know where we're going. That was our second set of 8. There's the third set of 8. Opposite heel is popped up. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we're going there. 1. Pop both the heels. 1, 2. Keep that form engaged. 3, 4. If you need your balance, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoo. Heels come down, arms come up. Forward fold in that wide stance and feel that nice stretch in those inner thighs. Whew, deep breath. You know what? We deserved it. 3 deep breaths here. Catch our breath. It might even feel good if your knees are up for it to come on down into a side lunge here to open up that nice inner thigh. But you don't have to. Stay in that forward fold if this is too much. The whole point is not putting you guys down on the mat to have to get up and down, so I certainly don't want to get you in a precarious situation where you feel like you can't get back up. So just hang in that forward fold if that's what you need. Whew. Coming back up through center. Enjoying that fold for one more moment. And then pushing up. Walking the hands up the legs if you need to. And heel toeing those feet in. So we're going to do some upper body stuff. If you have small hand weights and you want to power up a little bit, by all means, grab those weights. Otherwise, we can do this stuff without the weights and it's still going to give us a nice workout because we're going to do a lot of reps. So that being said, we're going to first come, we don't need our chair. So you can come, I'm going to turn to the side so you can kind of see the level of what I'm talking about. So we're going to bring our arms straight out from the shoulder. So they're not up, they're not down, but they're right out from our shoulder. And the palms can be open if you don't have weights, and we're just going to open and close. Open and close. Engage those biceps. Just because you don't have something in your hands doesn't mean that you can't make this work for you. Don't just go through the motions. Squeeze the bicep when you bring it back up and then release and resist as you go away. If you do this slow and take momentum out of the game, you're going to start to feel it pretty quickly. Cores engaged, we're standing nice and tall. Again, if you want more, get some weights. Get some bottles of water if that's what's around the house. Whatever you can find that's evenly weighted to put in each hand to do this workout. Couple more here. Again, more reps. If we don't have weight or we don't have a lot of weight, we just make up for it by lots of reps, intentional thought in what muscles we're working, what muscle groups. All right, let's bring them out. And now we're going to turn this into the serving a tray. So we're going to bring these elbows into the rib cage, bringing them back, and then taking it back out. Back and out. So each way you're resisting the motion, which builds the muscle, makes it a little bit harder to work. You can make this as easy or as hard as you need to be. And if you're like, Jess, this isn't what I need today, skip this section, go do a bunch of planks, push-ups, pump some iron, that's fine with me. No offense taken. We just want to get you moving, get you feeling good. Being proud that you've taken care of your body and your mind, devoted some time to yourself, which we all need, no matter what's going on in the world. A couple more. I know it gets boring, easy to let the mind wander, but you got to stay connected. And out. Shake that out. Might feel good to take the arm across the body. Just get a little stretch. And then we're going to do some rows. Again, if you have those weights, take them, use them. If you don't, here we are. Bend the knees, a little bit of a hinge at the hips. As if we had weights, we're pulling up and down, up and down. You should feel some activation right here underneath your rib cage. And down, up and down. Core stays engaged. Up and down, up, up. Focus where you want the work to happen. Pinching those shoulder blades together as they come back. Gives you a little extra work. Again, really feeling along the waistline, along those lat muscles. If you have a stretchy band at home, this would be a perfect time to put that stretchy band under your feet and pull up in rows this way. Whatever tools you have, use them. Okay. And there we are. Let's row upward, okay? Get some overhead stuff. So we'll come into as if we had our weights in our hands here, and then we're just going to push up overhead and down, up and down. Again, activate those muscles. This could just be a movement where you're not really doing a lot of work, but I'm feeling all kinds of work happening all along my back, in my arms, in my shoulders. Core's engaged, working up a sweat. Arms are up overhead, right? Feeling the crunch of those lats as I pull down. We'll do a couple more here, and then we'll work on triceps. And 3, and 2, and 1. Shaking that out. Maybe let's take a forward fold real quick and just stretch out that back. Let the head hang. Rolling it back up. And the last thing we're going to do are some triceps. So we're going to do 2 different movements here to work on those. Same posture that we did when we did our little rows. So we're going to micro bend the knees, hinge at the hip, core's engaged. And we're going to have, as if we have weights in our fists here, we're going to have them right by our biggest part of our hips. Core is, I already said core's engaged, you know that. All right, neck is nice and long in line with the spine, and we flex them back and forward. The hands, the fists only come back to the hips. They're not coming up here. They're staying right here in line with the hips. Squeezing the head of those triceps. Oh my goodness, without weights. I'm feeling it. And you're gonna feel it because we're gonna do a whole bunch of them. Focus, don't wander. Don't let your mind wander off. We're here for another 2 sets of 8 at least. Just really flexing those tricep muscles. We're not trying to be buff Arnold Schwarzenegger weightlifter types. We're just trying to have nice toned, strong arms that help us lift our grandkids, our kids, bring the groceries in the house, move big TVs around if you have a son like mine with this ancient technology. Whatever you need to do with those arms, we're going to make sure they're nice and strong for you. All right, we only got 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Hold them back. Open those hands. So now your arms are like blades. Check your form. Make sure that core is still activated. And we're just going to pulse them up. So we're pinching the shoulder blades together as we pulse and reach the arms behind us. And we're going to just do 2 sets of 8 here because we did a lot of tricep work just now. 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stretch those triceps. Hand comes back overhead. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. You can even bend into it here if you want a little more. Other side. Oh my goodness. I think mine hurt as particularly more than usual today because I did a pretty intensive arm workout yesterday. So you guys let me know. If you watch this one, let me know the next day how your arms feel. If it was from this, or maybe I just abused myself too much yesterday. All right. We are just about done. So we're going to do a little bit of a cool down. And I watched this video on Pilates Anytime, and I cannot remember the instructor, but it was just such a cool little thing that I want to show you guys about stretching this out and kind of using the natural rhythms of our body, paying attention to kind of what's going on in the whole body as it works together. So we're going to find our footing. We're probably, I don't know, 1.5 feet's worth away from the chair, so that when we come over, reaching up, we're going to forward fold and reach into our chair, even if we want to grab into the back of it, and we want a nice long flat back. It's almost like a child's pose into this chair, and our knees aren't locked, but we've got a nice stretch happening in the hamstrings and along the back. Breathing here. Let's take a deep breath in and try to send the air back to the back of us. So filling the lungs, feeling the back expand. And just sink deeper into it with each exhale. And now we're going to feel a sensation of almost like floating. Hopefully your chair isn't moving so much, but you're going to find nice flat hands on the chair. And using that imagery that we thought about earlier, as if there was some kind of motion coming up from the pelvis, up through the midline of your body, up through the abdomen, almost like an elevator along your spine, right? So it's coming up from the tailbone all the way up through the middle of your body. So I want you to think of that and let that arch your back, almost like in our cat-cow, as we float up, the heels pop up off the ground. We're floating forward on this chair, and then we turn it into a back extension when we get to the top, stretching out the front of the body. And then bringing it back, bringing the abs to the spine, belly button to spine, letting the head come back over, gently flowing the heels back down and stretching it out again. Oh, I just had a little vertebrae pop into place. All right, let's do that flow one more time now that we know what we're doing. So our hands are flat on our chair. We bring those abs in and up, almost like they're pushing us up toward the sky through our back, through our spine. Heels come off the ground as we lean into our chair, letting ourselves float into a back extension. And then opposite direction, belly button to spine, as we float back down. And feel that one last stretch here. And then rolling back up to standing. I do that one every day now. I love that stretch. It just feels like you get this effortless release in your body. So if that didn't work for you this time, let me know, and we're going to work through that some more, because I just feel like it's such a wonderful, awesome, great thing. So we're going to go ahead and sit down, finish off our stretch, and we're almost done here. So finding yourself again on the edge of that chair, we're going to do some rotation. So we're going to come on up, hands come up overhead, exhale. We're going to twist to one side of the body, keeping the hips pointed forward. One hand's going to come to the back of our chair, the other hand, opposite knee, and just kind of really get into that twist. Don't push yourself to pain, but use the chair to your advantage. Inhale, feel the spine twist and get taller. Exhale, come back through center. Let's go to the other side. Inhaling, hands come up overhead. Exhale, hands together, heart center, twisting in the opposite direction, separating the hands, one hand to the opposite knee, other hand can drape behind you, and just enjoy that twist. Coming back through center. We're going to stretch those legs one last time seated. So we're going to take those heels out. Let's just do one at a time, because if you're a little bit slippery like me on this wood floor, we don't want you falling out. So we're just going to lean forward. We don't have that knee locked out, but we can feel that stretch all along the back side of our leg. Just coming down as far as you need to feel the release. We don't have to think that all this has to happen standing all the time. We can use our seat to help us dig into these stretches. And back up to seated. Number 4 stretch one more time. We did do a lot of hip work, right? So we're gonna come into our number 4, keeping a nice flat back and stretching into that, leaning forward like we're just kind of flowing into the wind, just as far as it feels good on releasing that hip. Back up, unfold, opposite leg comes over, nice stretch. Another deep breath here. And unrelease, unfold that leg. All right, so let's just have our hands here on our lap, close our eyes if that's accessible to you, and just take a moment and find that breath again. Bring your thoughts back to here if they drifted. And let's take 3 beautiful deep breaths together to end our practice this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Last one here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you were able to get a good workout and see that it doesn't take a mat. It doesn't take us getting down, up and down off the ground in all kinds of different positions. As long as we have a chair and our able bodies, as able as we have them, we can modify, we can get there, and we can work out together. Thanks, guys. Take care. See you next week.